The darkness of space held secrets that few could understand. Captain Lee Hyun stood on the bridge of the UES Nightborne and watched the stars through the main viewing screen. His ship moved through the void like a ghost. No enemy sensors could detect them. The advanced stealth systems made the Nightborne invisible to all known alien technology. The bridge was quiet except for the soft hum of the ship's engines. The crew worked at their stations with focused determination. Each person knew their job well. They had trained for months to reach this moment. Now they were finally here, in enemy territory. Commander Park Soo looked up from her tactical display. Her face showed concern as she studied the enemy positions ahead. 3 large alien warships hung in space near the 4th planet of the Kepler system. The ships were massive and covered with weapon ports. They looked like metal beasts waiting to strike. "Captain, we are detecting the Vorthak fleet," Park Soo reported in a steady voice. 3 battle cruisers positioned around New Seoul Colony. They appear to be conducting bombardment operations. Lieutenant Kim Hana worked at the navigation station. Her fingers moved quickly across the controls as she adjusted their course. The young officer had proven herself many times during their journey here. She understood space navigation better than officers twice her age. "Bringing us to observation distance," Kim Hana announced. "We will be able to see everything but remain undetected." Chief Engineer Choi Dae monitored the ship's experimental systems from his station. The older man had helped design many of the Nightborne's unique features. His experience kept their advanced technology working perfectly. Without his skills, they would never have made it this far. "All stealth systems operating at full capacity," Choi Dae confirmed. "The dark matter cloak is stable. Enemy sensors cannot penetrate our field." Captain Hyun nodded and stepped closer to the main screen. What he saw there made his jaw clench with anger. The alien ships were firing their weapons at the colony below. Bright flashes of energy struck the planet's surface. Each blast destroyed buildings and killed innocent people. The colony had been home to over 2 million humans. Most were families who had come here to start new lives. They had built cities and farms on this world. Children had been born here. Now the aliens were destroying everything without mercy. "Sir, we are detecting evacuation ships leaving the planet," Lieutenant Kim Hana reported. "But the Vorthak are targeting them as well." On the screen, small human transport ships tried to escape the planet's atmosphere. The civilian vessels had no weapons and no shields. They were completely defenseless. The alien battle cruisers turned their massive guns on these helpless ships and opened fire. One by one, the evacuation transports exploded in brilliant flashes. Thousands of innocent lives ended in those moments. Captain Hyun watched families die and felt rage building in his chest. His hands formed fists at his sides. "Captain, we should attack," urged Weapons Officer Yoon Jin from her station. "We can destroy at least one of their ships before they know what hit them." The young weapons officer was skilled with the Nightborne's advanced combat systems. Her fingers hovered over the firing controls. She wanted to make the aliens pay for their crimes. The entire bridge crew felt the same way. "Hold position, Captain," Hyun ordered firmly. "Our mission is intelligence gathering first." It was the hardest order he had ever given. Every instinct told him to fight. Every fiber of his being wanted to save those people. But he knew that rushing into battle without proper information would help no one. They needed to understand their enemy first. Dr. Lim Na worked at the science station scanning the alien vessels. The ship's sensors gathered detailed information about Vorthak technology and capabilities. Every piece of data would be valuable for future battles. "I am reading their weapon signatures and shield frequencies," Dr. Lim Na reported. "Their technology is advanced, but follows predictable patterns. They rely on brute force rather than precision." Communications Officer Bae Won intercepted enemy transmissions between the alien ships. The universal translator worked to decode their language. What he heard made everyone on the bridge angry. "Captain, I am picking up Vorthak communications," Bae Won announced. "They are discussing human military capabilities. They believe we are a primitive species with no real defenses. The alien messages revealed their true thoughts about humanity. The Vorthak commanders spoke about humans the way someone might discuss insects. They saw Earth's colonies as easy targets that would fall without resistance. They had no respect for human life or civilization. One Vorthak officer even laughed as he described the destruction of the evacuation ships. He called it target practice. Another alien commander bragged about how quickly they would conquer all human worlds. They planned to sell human survivors as slaves in alien markets. Captain Hyun listened to these intercepts and felt cold fury replace his earlier anger. These creatures had made a terrible mistake. They thought humans were weak because they had never seen humanity truly fight. The aliens were about to learn how wrong they were. "Continue monitoring their communications," Captain Hyun commanded. "I want to know everything about their fleet movements and battle plans." The Nightborne remained hidden in the darkness as the alien bombardment continued. More civilian ships died trying to escape. The colony's defensive systems had been destroyed in the first attack. There was nothing left to protect the innocent people below. After 3 hours, the alien fleet finished their work. New Sol Colony was completely destroyed. What had once been a thriving human settlement was now a burning wasteland. The Vorthak ships prepared to leave for their next target. Just then, a priority message arrived from Earth Command. Captain Hyun read the transmission and felt a grim smile cross his face. The orders were exactly what he had hoped to receive. "Nightborne is authorized to engage enemy forces," the message stated. "Show them what humanity is capable of." Captain Hyun turned to face his crew. Every officer on the bridge looked back at him with determination. They had watched innocent people die while staying hidden. Now it was time to act. "All stations prepare for combat operations," Captain Hyun announced. "The Vorthak wanted to see human military capability. We are going to give them a demonstration they will never forget. The hunt was about to begin, too." The Nightborne moved through space like death itself. Captain Lee Hyun stood ready on the bridge as his ship approached the 3 Vorthak battlecruisers. The alien vessels had finished destroying New Sol Colony and were preparing to jump to hyperspace. They had no idea that humanity's most advanced warship was hunting them. "Target the first 2 battlecruisers simultaneously," Captain Hyun ordered. "We will hit them before they know we exist." Weapons Officer Yoon Jin worked quickly at her station. The Nightborne carried experimental weapons that no alien had ever encountered. Quantum torpedoes could phase through enemy shields. Plasma beam arrays could cut through the strongest armor. Every weapon system was designed to kill efficiently. "Weapons locked on targets," Yoon Jin reported. "Quantum torpedoes loaded and ready. Plasma arrays charged to full power." Commander Park Soo studied the tactical display. The 3 alien ships were spread out in a loose formation. 2 battle cruisers floated near the destroyed colony, while the 3rd hung back as a command vessel. Park Soo had already calculated the perfect attack pattern. "Captain, I recommend we strike the outer ships first," Park Soo suggested. "Their command vessel will be isolated and unable to call for reinforcements immediately." Lieutenant Kim Hana adjusted the ship's position with precision. The Nightborne needed to be in exactly the right place for maximum effectiveness. One mistake could reveal their location and ruin the surprise attack. "We are in optimal firing position," Kim Hana announced. "All systems show green." Chief Engineer Choi Dae monitored the stealth systems carefully. The dark matter cloak had to remain stable during the attack. If it failed, even for a moment, the aliens would detect them. Everything depended on staying invisible. "Stealth field holding steady," Choi Dae confirmed. "Power distribution is optimal for sustained combat operations." Captain Hyun looked at the alien ships on the main screen. These vessels had murdered millions of innocent people. The crews inside them thought they were safe. They believed humans were too weak to threaten them. In a few seconds, they would learn the truth. "Fire!" Captain Hyun commanded. The Nightborne unleashed destruction like nothing the galaxy had ever seen. Quantum torpedoes materialized inside the first alien battlecruiser and detonated. The ship's shields were useless against weapons that ignored them completely. Massive explosions tore through the vessel's hull. At the same moment, plasma beams struck the second battlecruiser. The concentrated energy burned through armor plating like it was paper. Secondary explosions rippled along the alien ship's weapon, ports. Both vessels began breaking apart under the assault. The attack appeared to come from empty space. One moment, the Vorthak ships were intact and confident. The next moment, two of them were dying in brilliant fireballs. The surviving aliens had no idea what was happening. Warlord Krex commanded the third battlecruiser from his bridge. The alien leader watched his two escort ships explode and felt something he had never experienced before: fear. His tactical computers could not detect any enemy vessels. The attack seemed impossible. "Report!" Krex snarled at his subordinates. "What destroyed our ships?" His crew worked frantically at their stations, but found no answers. Their sensors showed nothing but debris and empty space. Whatever had killed. The other battlecruisers remained completely invisible. "Warlord, we cannot detect any enemy vessels," his tactical officer reported. "Our systems show no weapon signatures or energy readings." Dr. Lim Na monitored the alien ship's responses from the Nightborne science station. The Vorthak were confused and scared. Their technology could not explain what had happened. This gave humanity a huge advantage. "Captain, the surviving ship is scanning for us but finding nothing," Dr. Lim Na reported. "Their sensors cannot penetrate our stealth field." Communications officer Bei Wan intercepted frantic messages between the alien bridge crew. The universal translator revealed their growing panic. The Vorthak had never faced an enemy they could not see. "They are requesting emergency reinforcements," Bei Wan announced, "but they cannot tell their fleet command what attacked them." Captain Hyun studied the tactical situation. The remaining battlecruiser was powerful but alone. Its crew was frightened and making mistakes. This was the perfect time to demonstrate human tactical superiority. "Bring us around to their starboard side," Captain Hyun ordered. "We will show them something they have never seen before." The Nightborne moved through the asteroid belt that surrounded the Kepler system. Lieutenant Kim Hana navigated between the floating rocks with incredible skill. The ship passed within meters of massive asteroids without being detected. Captain Hyun had an idea that would terrify the aliens. The Nightborne's weapons could be enhanced using the gravitational fields of nearby asteroids. The technique was considered impossible by most military experts. Today they would prove it could be done. "Yoon Jin, prepare the gravitational lensing array," Captain Hyun commanded. "We are going to amplify our weapons using the asteroid field." Weapons. Officer Yoon Jin looked surprised but quickly followed orders. The gravitational lensing system was experimental technology that had never been tested in combat. It used the gravity of massive objects to focus energy weapons into devastating beams. "Lensing array activated," Yoon Jin reported. "Targeting the largest asteroid cluster near the enemy ship." The Nightborne fired a concentrated plasma beam at a group of asteroids near the alien vessel. The gravitational fields of the rocks focused the energy into a narrow beam of incredible power. The enhanced weapon struck the battlecruiser's main reactor. Warlord Krex watched in horror as his ship's power systems overloaded. The attack had come from an impossible angle, using physics that Vorthak science claimed was theoretical. His vessel began losing power throughout all decks. "Engineering report," Krex demanded. "How did they target our reactor through our shields?" His chief engineer studied the damage readings with confusion. The attack had bypassed their defensive systems completely. No known weapon could have achieved such precision. "Warlord, the humans somehow used our own environment against us," the engineer reported. "They turned the asteroids into weapon amplifiers." "Captain," Hyun smiled as he watched the alien ship struggle with system failures. The Nightborne's attack had been perfectly calculated. The enemy vessel was crippled but not destroyed. He wanted prisoners and information. "Disable their engines and weapons," Captain Hyun ordered, "but leave their life support intact. We need that ship functional for boarding operations." Marine Captain Song Min received orders to prepare his boarding teams. The elite soldiers had trained for this moment during the entire journey to Vorthak space. Soon they would capture their first alien prisoners. "Boarding teams ready," Song Min reported over the communications system. "We will secure the enemy vessel within 30 minutes. The crippled battlecruiser drifted helplessly as the invisible Nightborne approached. Warlord Krex realized his situation was hopeless. The humans possessed technology and tactics beyond Vorthak understanding. The first battle was over. Humanity had announced its presence in the war. The captured Vorthak battlecruiser drifted in space like a broken toy. Marine Captain Song Min led his boarding teams through the alien corridors with careful precision. The human soldiers wore advanced combat armor that protected them from the ship's toxic atmosphere. Their weapons were ready for any resistance. Captain Lee Hyun monitored the boarding operation from the Nightborne's bridge. The stealth ship remained invisible next to the crippled alien vessel. Every minute brought new intelligence about Vorthak technology and military capabilities. "Captain, we have secured the enemy bridge," Song Min reported over the communication system. "Warlord Krex and his senior staff are our prisoners. No casualties among our forces." Commander Park Soo studied the data flowing from the captured ship's computers. The alien databases contained detailed information about Vorthak fleet movements throughout the galaxy. What she found there surprised everyone. "Captain, their military records show massive underestimation of human forces," Park Soo announced. "They classify Earth as a primitive civilization with limited defensive capabilities." Dr. Lim Na worked at extracting technical specifications from the alien ship's systems. The Vorthak used powerful but inefficient technology. Their weapons were strong but consumed enormous amounts of energy. Their shields were thick but slow to regenerate. "I am finding significant weaknesses in their defensive systems," Dr. Lim Na reported. "Their shield generators have long recharge cycles after taking heavy damage." Communications Officer Bei Wan intercepted emergency transmissions spreading across Vorthak space. News of the Kepler system battle was causing panic among alien commanders. Many refused to believe the reports they were receiving. Captain Vorthak. "High Command is receiving battle reports from other sectors," Bei Wan announced. "Multiple fleets are reporting mysterious attacks by invisible human ships." The truth was spreading faster than the aliens could contain it. Other human vessels were using the Nightborne's success as inspiration for their own attacks. Stealth ships throughout the galaxy were striking Vorthak forces without warning. Lieutenant Kim Hana plotted courses to potential battle sites. The navigation computers showed dozens of systems where human and alien forces might encounter each other. Each location represented another chance to demonstrate human military superiority. "Captain, I am detecting 3 more Vorthak fleets within striking distance," Kim Hana reported. "All appear to be following standard attack patterns toward human colonies." Chief Engineer Choi Dae maintained the ship's experimental systems while analyzing captured alien technology. The Vorthak used brute force solutions where humans preferred elegant efficiency. This difference would be crucial in future battles. "Their power distribution systems are primitive compared to ours," Choi Dae observed. "We can exploit these limitations in combat." Captain Hyun studied intelligence reports from across the war zone. The Vorthak were slowly realizing that humanity possessed advanced military capabilities. However, their leadership refused to acknowledge the threat. Pride would be their downfall. Warlord Krex sat in the Nightborne's detention area under heavy guard. The alien commander had demanded to speak with Captain Hyun directly. His attitude had changed from arrogance to desperate curiosity. "I will interrogate the prisoner personally," Captain Hyun decided. His information could prevent future attacks on human colonies. The detention facility was designed to hold various alien species safely. Krex looked smaller and less threatening without his elaborate battle armor. The Vorthak leader studied Captain Hyun with obvious confusion. "You are the human commander," Krex stated. "Your species should not possess such advanced warfare capabilities." Captain Hyun sat across from the alien prisoner. He wanted to understand how the Vorthak viewed humanity. This knowledge would help predict their future actions. "Why did your people attack our colonies?" Captain Hyun asked directly. Krex seemed genuinely puzzled by the question. In his mind, the attacks were completely justified. The Vorthak believed might made right throughout the galaxy. "Your worlds contain valuable resources," Krex explained. "The strong take from the weak. This is the natural order." Captain Hyun realized the aliens operated by completely different moral standards. They saw nothing wrong with murdering innocent civilians for profit. This made negotiation impossible. "You consider humans weak," Captain Hyun observed. "We did," Krex admitted reluctantly. "Your stealth technology suggests otherwise. How did primitives develop such advanced systems?" The aliens' assumptions revealed much about Vorthak intelligence gathering. They had studied human technology but missed crucial developments. Their spies had failed to detect humanity's true military capabilities. Meanwhile, across Vorthak space, panic was spreading among military commanders. Fleet Admiral Vex received reports of human attacks from 12 different sectors. Each battle showed the same pattern of invisible ships striking. "Without warning! This is impossible!" Admiral Vex roared at his staff. "Humans cannot possess technology superior to ours." His tactical advisors reviewed the battle reports with growing concern. The evidence was undeniable. Human forces were defeating Vorthak fleets using advanced stealth capabilities and innovative tactics. "Admiral, we must acknowledge that we underestimated the human threat," his chief strategist warned. "Their military technology exceeds our intelligence estimates." Admiral Vex refused to accept this possibility. The Vorthak had conquered dozens of species throughout the galaxy. Humanity was supposed to be just another easy victory. "Deploy the Planet Killer-class dreadnoughts," Admiral Vex commanded. "We will overwhelm them with superior firepower." The Planet Killer ships were the most powerful vessels in the Vorthak fleet. Each one carried enough weapons to destroy entire worlds. Admiral Vex believed these massive ships would end human resistance quickly. Back aboard the Nightborne captain, Hyun received urgent intelligence about the alien deployment. Earth Command was tracking the movement of 30 Planet Killer dreadnoughts toward human space. "Captain, long-range sensors are detecting a massive Vorthak fleet," Lieutenant Kim Hana reported. "They appear to be concentrating forces for a major offensive." Dr. Lim Na analyzed the scanner data and found disturbing patterns. The alien ships were larger than anything humanity had encountered before. Their weapon signatures suggested incredible destructive capability. "These vessels are designed for planetary bombardment," Dr. Lim Na warned. "They could destroy entire worlds." Commander Park Soo studied tactical projections of the approaching enemy fleet. The numbers were overwhelming. 30 Planet Killer ships supported by hundreds of escort vessels represented the largest military force ever assembled. "Captain, we cannot face this armada alone," Park Soo stated. "We need support from the entire human fleet." Captain Hyun understood the situation clearly. The Vorthak were committing everything to crush humanity before human technology could spread. Further, this would be the decisive battle of the war. "Set course for the Proxima Nebula," Captain Hyun ordered. "We have preparations to make." The real war was about to begin. The Proxima Nebula stretched across space like a glowing cloud of death. Captain Lee Hyun stood on the bridge of the Nightborne as his ship approached the hidden weapon platforms. Human engineers had been working in secret for months to prepare this trap. Now it was time to test their creation. Chief Engineer Choi Dae monitored the activation sequence from his station. The weapon platforms were built using captured Vorthak technology combined with human innovation. Each platform contained enough firepower to cripple an alien dreadnought. "All weapon platforms are coming online," Choi Dae reported. Power levels are stable and targeting systems are active. The platforms had been disguised as asteroids floating in the nebula. Vorthak sensors would not detect them until it was too late. 30 hidden weapons waited for the alien fleet to arrive. Lieutenant Kim Hana guided the Nightborne through the dangerous nebula clouds. The electromagnetic interference would hide their movements from enemy scanners. This environment favored human technology over alien systems. "We are in position, Captain," Kim Hana announced. "The enemy fleet should arrive within the hour." Commander Park Soo studied the tactical display showing expected enemy positions. The Vorthak followed predictable attack patterns based on overwhelming firepower. Their rigid formations would work against them today. "Captain, the alien fleet is maintaining standard battle formation," Park Soo observed. "They expect to face conventional human defenses." Dr. Lim Na monitored the nebula's energy readings carefully. The electromagnetic storms could interfere with both human and alien systems. Timing would be crucial for the trap to work properly. "Nebula conditions are optimal for our weapon systems," Dr. Lim Na reported. "The interference will mask our energy signatures until we fire." Communications Officer Bei Wan detected the approaching Vorthak fleet on long-range sensors. 12 planet-killer dreadnoughts led the formation with dozens of escort ships. The massive alien vessels moved through space like floating cities. "Contact. Captain," Bei Wan announced. "Enemy fleet bearing 27 Mark IV. Distance closing rapidly." Admiral Vex commanded the Vorthak Armada from his flagship dreadnought. The massive ship bristled with enough weapons to destroy entire star systems. He was confident that human forces could not stand against such overwhelming power. "Deploy attack formation," Admiral Vex ordered his fleet commanders. "We will crush the human ship and show the galaxy what happens to those who defy us." The Vorthak fleet entered the nebula in perfect formation. Their sensors were partially blinded by the electromagnetic interference, but they pressed forward confidently. Admiral Vex believed the single human ship was trapped. Captain Hyun watched the enemy fleet approach on the main screen. The alien ships looked enormous compared to the Nightborne. However, size would not matter once the trap was sprung. "Wait for my signal," Captain Hyun commanded. "Let them get deep into the nebula before we act." The planet-killer ships moved deeper into the cloud formations. Their massive hulls blocked out the stars behind them. The escort vessels spread out to prevent the human ship from escaping. "They are taking the bait," Weapons Officer Yoon Jin observed. "All enemy vessels are within the weapon grid." Admiral Vex studied his tactical display and felt satisfied with the battle development. The human ship was completely surrounded with no chance of escape. Soon, this threat to Vorthak dominance would be eliminated. "Begin bombardment of the human vessel," Admiral Vex commanded. "Show no mercy." The alien dreadnoughts opened fire with their massive weapon arrays. Energy beams and missile barrages filled the space around the Nightborne. However, the human ship seemed to dance between the attacks like it could predict the future. "Now," Captain Hyun ordered quietly. Chief Engineer Choi Dae activated the hidden weapon platforms throughout the nebula. 30 disguised weapons revealed themselves simultaneously as they powered up their targeting systems. The trap was sprung. "All platforms firing," Choi Dae announced. The hidden weapons opened fire from every direction at once. Energy beams struck the alien ships from impossible angles. The Vorthak had expected to fight one human vessel, but found themselves facing an entire battle network. Admiral Vex watched in horror as his mighty fleet came under attack from weapons that appeared out of nowhere. His tactical computers could not explain how humans had hidden so many battle platforms in the nebula. "Report," Admiral Vex demanded from his panicking crew. "Admiral, we are detecting 30 hidden weapon platforms," his tactical officer reported. "They were disguised as asteroids throughout the nebula." The hidden weapons targeted weak points in Vorthak ship design that alien engineers thought were impossible to hit. Human analysis of captured technology had revealed these vulnerabilities. Now they were being exploited with deadly precision. "Lieutenant, Kim Hana piloted the Nightborne through the chaotic battle like a master artist. The ship moved between the massive alien vessels, striking at critical systems. The Vorthak could not track something so small and fast. Enemy shields are failing. On multiple ships, Dr. Lim Na reported. Our weapons are penetrating their defenses. The planet-killer dreadnoughts found their massive size working against them. They could not maneuver quickly enough to avoid the coordinated attacks. One by one, their weapon systems were being destroyed. Marine Captain Song Min led boarding parties onto damaged alien ships. His soldiers captured key positions before the Vorthak could organize effective resistance. Each captured vessel provided more intelligence about enemy capabilities. Bridge secured on enemy dreadnought number 7, Song Min reported. Their command staff is our prisoner. Admiral Vex realized his fleet was being systematically destroyed by human tactics he had never imagined possible. The humans fought, like no species the Vorthak had ever encountered. "Retreat," Admiral Vex ordered reluctantly. "All ships withdraw immediately." Half the Vorthak fleet was already destroyed or captured. The surviving ships tried to escape, but the weapon platforms continued firing. Only 6 alien vessels managed to reach the edge of the nebula. Captain Hyun opened a direct communication channel to Admiral Vex's flagship. It was time to deliver humanity's message. "This is Captain Lee Hyun of the UES Nightborne," he announced. "You came to our worlds without provocation. You murdered innocent civilians. Now you will learn why that was a mistake." Admiral Vex stared at the human captain's image on his screen. For the first time in his military career, he felt genuine fear. These humans were not the primitive species his intelligence had described. "This war is not over, human," Admiral Vex replied angrily. "No, it is not," Captain Hyun agreed. "But now you know what you are truly fighting." The surviving Vorthak ships limped away into hyperspace carrying news of their defeat. The trap had worked perfectly. The victory at Proxima Nebula sent shockwaves through both human and Vorthak space. Captain Lee Hyun received new orders from Earth Command as the Nightborne prepared for the next phase of operations. Humanity was no longer defending. Now they were attacking. "Captain, we are receiving fleet coordination data," Communications Officer Bai Wan announced. "Earth Command is launching simultaneous strikes across 12 Vorthak systems." Commander Park Soo studied the massive operation plans on her tactical display. Human forces throughout the galaxy were moving in perfect coordination. The counteroffensive would hit the aliens where they least expected it. "This is the largest military operation in human history," Park Soo observed. "Every available ship is participating in the assault. The Nightborne would lead the attack on the Vorthak industrial world of Kaltos Prime. The planet contained weapons factories that supplied alien fleets throughout this sector. Destroying those facilities would cripple enemy production." Lieutenant Kim Hana plotted the fastest course to their target system. The route took them through contested space where Vorthak patrol fleets might intercept them. Speed and stealth would be essential for success. "Course laid in, Captain," Kim Hana reported. "We will reach Kaltos Prime in 18 hours. Dr. Lim Na worked on new technology based on captured alien equipment. Human engineers had improved Vorthak weapon designs by solving power distribution, problems that had plagued alien systems for centuries. "I have completed modifications to our plasma array systems," Dr. Lim Na announced. "Power output is increased by 40% with improved targeting accuracy." Chief Engineer Choi Dae monitored the installation of the upgraded weapons. The new systems used hybrid human and alien technology that was superior to either design alone. Innovation through combination had always been humanity's strength. "Weapon upgrades are complete and testing perfectly," Choi Dae confirmed. "We are ready for extended combat operations." The Nightborne jumped to hyperspace and began its journey to enemy territory. Other human fleets were moving toward their own targets throughout Vorthak space. The aliens would face attacks from directions they thought were impossible. Captain Hyun reviewed intelligence reports about their destination. Kaltos Prime was heavily defended by orbital weapon platforms and patrol fleets. However, the defenses were designed to stop conventional attacks, not stealth ships. The enemy expects frontal assaults using standard tactics, Captain Hyun told his crew. We will show them why human unpredictability wins wars. Meanwhile, across Vorthak space, panic was spreading among military commanders. Reports arrived hourly of human attacks on supposedly secure systems. The aliens discovered that humanity possessed capabilities their intelligence had never detected. Admiral Vex sat in his command center reading damage reports from across the Empire. Human forces were striking with precision that seemed impossible. They targeted exactly the right facilities to cause maximum disruption. How do they know where to hit us? Admiral Vex demanded from his intelligence chief. Admiral, the humans appear to understand our logistics better than we do, the intelligence officer admitted. They are attacking infrastructure nodes that will cripple our entire supply network. The truth was that human tactical computers had analyzed captured Vorthak data to identify critical weaknesses in their empire. While aliens focused on brute force, humans studied efficiency and precision. Back aboard the Nightborne, the crew prepared for their assault on Kaltos Prime. Weapons Officer Yoon Jin ran final checks on the upgraded plasma arrays. The new systems could punch through alien armor like it was thin metal. All weapon systems are ready, Captain, Yoon Jin reported. The new plasma arrays are showing excellent performance in simulations. The ship dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the Kaltos system. The industrial world hung in space, surrounded by defensive satellites and patrol ships. The Vorthak had turned their planet into a fortress. Passive sensors only, Captain Hyun ordered. I want complete intelligence before we attack. Dr. Lim. Na scanned the enemy defenses carefully. The orbital platforms used overlapping fields of fire to protect the planet. However, the defensive network had gaps that could be exploited by a small, fast ship. I am detecting weaknesses in their defensive grid, Dr. Lim Na reported. There are blind spots where we can approach undetected. Lieutenant Kim Hana studied the gravitational fields around the planet. The system contained a black hole that created unusual space distortions. These could be used to mask their approach vector. Captain, I can use the black hole's gravity well to slingshot us around their defenses, Kim Hana suggested. The gravitational distortion will hide our energy signature. The maneuver was incredibly dangerous. One mistake would send the Nightborne into the black hole where nothing could escape. However, it would allow them to attack from an impossible angle. Do it, Captain Hyun decided. Human space pilots are the best in the galaxy. The Nightborne accelerated toward the black hole at maximum speed. The ship's hull groaned under the intense gravitational forces but held together. Chief Engineer Choi Dae worked frantically to keep all systems stable. Hull stress approaching maximum limits, Choi Dae warned. But structural integrity is holding. Lieutenant Kim Hana flew the ship through the gravity well with incredible precision. The Nightborne whipped around the black hole like a stone from a slingshot. They emerged behind the planet's defenses, moving faster than any ship had ever traveled. Approach successful, Kim Hana announced. We are inside their defensive perimeter. The Vorthak defenders never saw the attack coming. The Nightborne appeared, behind their lines, moving at impossible speed. Before they could react, the human ship was already striking their most important targets. Weapons Officer Yoon Jin fired the upgraded plasma arrays at the orbital weapons platforms. The enhanced beams cut through alien armor and destroyed each target with single shots. The defensive network collapsed in minutes. All orbital defenses eliminated, Yoon Jin reported. Beginning bombardment of surface facilities. The weapon. Factories on Kaltos Prime were massive complexes that could be seen from orbit. The Nightborne's weapons struck each facility with precision strikes that caused maximum damage while avoiding civilian areas. Marine Captain Song Min led assault teams to capture important alien officers and technical data. His soldiers moved through the damaged facilities like ghosts, taking what they needed before disappearing again. Intelligence gathered and prisoners secured. Songmin confirmed. The enemy production capability is completely destroyed. Admiral Vex received the report from Kaltos Prime with growing despair. The humans had destroyed one of their most important industrial worlds using a single ship. The attack showed tactical thinking beyond anything he had encountered. "Summon the Supreme Overlord," Admiral Vex ordered grimly. "The human threat requires our full attention." Supreme Overlord Vorthon was the ultimate leader of the Vorthak Empire. He commanded resources from thousands of worlds and billions of warriors. If anyone could stop humanity, it would be him. Captain Hyun watched the burning factories on Kaltos Prime and felt grim satisfaction. Each destroyed facility would save human lives by reducing alien military production. The counteroffensive was working perfectly. "Set course for Earth," Captain Hyun ordered. "Our mission here is complete." However, their victory had attracted the attention of the most dangerous enemy they would ever face. Supreme Overlord Vorthon was gathering the largest fleet in galactic history. The final battle was coming. The largest alien armada in galactic history descended upon the Sol system like a plague of metal locusts. Supreme Overlord Vorthon commanded 500 warships, including 50 planet-killer dreadnoughts. He intended to make humanity an example that would terrify every species in the galaxy. Captain Lee Hyun stood on the bridge of the Nightborne as his ship raced toward Earth at maximum speed. Long-range sensors showed the massive Vorthak fleet approaching humanity's homeworld. The final battle was about to begin. "Captain, we are detecting the enemy fleet at the edge of our solar system," Lieutenant Kim Hana reported. "Their numbers are beyond anything we have faced before." Commander Park Soo studied the tactical display with growing concern. The alien fleet was enormous, but it was not alone. Ships from every human colony were converging on Earth to join the defense. "Human reinforcements are arriving from all sectors," Park Soo announced. "The entire fleet is coming home to defend Earth." Dr. Lim Na monitored communications between the defending ships. Captains who had never worked together were coordinating like they had trained for years. Humanity was united as never before in its history. "Fleet coordination is excellent," Dr. Lim Na observed. "All ships are following standardized tactical protocols." The Nightborne emerged from hyperspace to find the battle already raging. Earth's orbital defense platforms were exchanging fire with the advancing alien fleet. Human ships darted between the massive enemy dreadnoughts like deadly insects. Chief Engineer Choi Dae powered up all combat systems as they entered the war zone. The stealth ship's advanced technology would be crucial in the chaotic battle. They needed every advantage against such overwhelming numbers. "All systems ready for maximum combat operations," Choi Dae confirmed. "Stealth field is stable and weapons are charged." Captain Hyun opened communication channels to coordinate with the other human ships. The defense of Earth required perfect timing and cooperation between all forces. "This is Captain Hyun of the Nightborne," he announced. "We are moving to support the main battle line." Supreme Overlord Vorthon watched the human resistance from his massive command ship. The primitive species was fighting more effectively than he had expected. However, sheer numbers would eventually overwhelm their defenses. "Deploy all planet-killer ships," Vorthon commanded. "Begin bombardment of the human homeworld." The largest Vorthak vessels moved into bombardment position around Earth. Their massive weapons could crack the planet's surface and kill billions of people. This was meant to be humanity's final lesson. "Captain, enemy dreadnoughts are targeting Earth directly," Communications Officer Bae Won warned. "They intend to destroy the planet." Captain Hyun realized that conventional tactics would not save Earth. The alien fleet was too large and too powerful. However, humans had one advantage that aliens could never understand. They fought for something greater than themselves. "All ships, this is Nightborne Actual," Captain Hyun announced on the fleet communication channel. "Humanity has always been strongest when we stand together. Today, we show the galaxy what that means." The Nightborne activated its stealth field and disappeared from enemy sensors. Captain Hyun had a plan that would use Earth's own gravity and magnetic field as weapons. It was dangerous, but it might save the planet. Lieutenant Kim Hana plotted a course that would take them through Earth's magnetosphere. The ship's hull would barely survive the electromagnetic radiation, but the plan required precise positioning. Course. Plotted, Captain, Kim Hana announced. Hull temperature will reach critical levels, but we should survive. Weapons Officer Yoon Jin prepared the ship's most powerful weapons for a concentrated strike. They would have only one chance to make this work. Everything depended on perfect timing and accuracy. Weapons ready, Yoon Jin confirmed. All power is being channeled to the main plasma array. Supreme Overlord Vorthon grew impatient with the human resistance. His fleet was winning, but too slowly. He decided to challenge the human commander to single combat between flagships. Human, Commander, Vorthon announced on open channels. I challenge you to honorable combat, your flagship against mine. Captain Hyun accepted the challenge, but on human terms. The duel would take place in the space between Earth and its moon, where gravitational forces were strongest. I accept your challenge, Captain Hyun replied. But we fight where I choose. The two ships moved away from the main battle toward the designated area. Vorthon's dreadnought was 10 times larger than the Nightborne, but Captain Hyun had advantages. The alien could not see. Dr. Lim Na monitored the gravitational fields between Earth and the Moon. The complex forces could be used to enhance their weapons if the calculations were perfect. Human science would triumph over alien brute force. Gravitational lensing effect is optimal, Dr. Lim Na reported. We can amplify our weapons using the Earth-Moon system. The Nightborne positioned itself carefully between the two celestial bodies. Chief Engineer Choi Dae rerouted all available power to the weapon systems. They would have one shot at maximum power. All power to weapons, Choi Dae announced. This is everything we have. Supreme Overlord Vorthon fired his massive weapons at the tiny human ship. Energy beams powerful enough to destroy cities lanced through space toward the Nightborne. However, Captain Hyun was ready. Fire, Captain Hyun commanded. The Nightborne released every bit of energy in its weapon systems through the gravitational lens created by Earth and the Moon. The focused beam struck Vorthon's flagship with the power of a small star. The alien dreadnought's shields collapsed instantly. The enhanced weapon burned through the massive ship's armor like it was paper. Secondary explosions rippled through the vessel as critical systems overloaded. Impossible, Vorthon gasped as his ship died around him. Captain Hyun opened a final communication to the defeated alien leader. The message was for all Vorthak forces to hear and understand. This is humanity, Captain Hyun announced. We do not conquer for profit or glory. We fight to protect what we love. That is why you cannot defeat us. The destruction of their supreme leader's flagship broke the Vorthak fleet's morale. Alien ships throughout the solar system began surrendering or retreating. The massive armada scattered like leaves in the wind. Marine Captain Song Min led boarding parties to accept alien surrenders. Thousands of Vorthak warriors laid down their weapons rather than continue fighting. They had learned to respect human determination. Captain, the enemy fleet is surrendering, Song Min reported. The war is over. Admiral Vex was among the prisoners, brought aboard the Nightborne. The alien military leader looked at Captain Hyun with something approaching respect. How did primitives defeat the greatest fleet in the galaxy? Vex asked quietly. We are not primitives, Captain Hyun replied. We are humans. We fight for each other. The Vorthak Empire agreed to a peace treaty that recognized human territory and rights. The aliens had learned that some species could not be conquered through force alone. Captain Hyun and his crew became legends throughout human space. However, their greatest achievement was not military victory, but proving that unity and determination could overcome any challenge. The Nightborne continued to patrol the galaxy, ensuring that no species would again threaten human worlds. Humanity had earned its place among the stars through courage and sacrifice. The war was over, but the legend would live forever.